Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
It's day 4 of a hearing which will determine if former MSU President Lou Anne Simon will stand trial on charges connected to the Larry Nassar sex abuse scandal. A look at what's happening inside the Charlotte courtroom. Plus, sifting through the ashes, one of the greatest architectural treasures of the Western world, seriously damaged. We're taking a closer look at the impact of this catastrophic fire is having on Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral. But first, rain moving through Metro Detroit, as you can see on 4 Live radar. Now, the big question, will the wet weather be sticking around? And that weather tops our show. I'm Karen Drew. Thank you for joining us for Local 4 News at noon. Let's take a look outside through our Windsor Skycam. You can see lots of cloud cover. Paul Gross here, tracking that wet weather. Got to ask, Paul, we've got kids' practices after school. Are they going to make it, or is it going to be canceled?
In some places they will, in some places they won't. You can see some of the drips on our Skycam here downtown, looking downriver at the Ambassador Bridge. Still 41 in Lapeer, but 50 in Ann Arbor, 58 at Metro, and we have 53 right now over in Adrian. And as far as the rain is concerned, you can see a back edge of this stuff. So south of M59 Hall Road, we're going to see this stuff end in the next couple of hours. North of there, it's going to be several hours before this stuff ends. You can see the top part of this just extends further back into Wisconsin. And we are seeing some sunshine building and already getting some peaks here in Lenawee, Monroe counties, parts of Washtenaw County. So especially, again, south of M59 Hall Road, we're going to get some sun to end the day with the showers diminishing except to the north. High temperature in the low to mid 50s. Be back with your holiday weekend forecast in just a bit, Karen.
All right, thank you, Paul. We're following breaking news out of Detroit, and that is where the westbound lanes of 7 Mile and 1 lane of Woodward are closed due to an accident. We're told 2 cars were involved, a car and a pickup truck. You can see the damage done to the car. Witnesses are telling us that 2 people may have been hurt. We're working this story to gather new information, and we'll share that with you as that comes in. Now, we do have some new information today that is shedding light on the outbreak of measles here in Michigan. We're learning there is a connection between cases here and a major outbreak in New York City. A man who traveled by car from New York to Michigan was unaware he was contagious with measles. State health officials now say that 38 cases of measles in southeast Michigan can be linked to this individual. Ultra-Orthodox communities in New York City have been the center of a measles outbreak, which began when people returned from travel to Israel. One other local case in Washtenaw County also has been linked to international travel. The Centers for Disease Control reports the current national outbreak shows the second highest level of measles in 25 years. As of yesterday, 555 measles cases had been reported across the country, with 90 new cases reported in a single week. Oh, the sight. Firefighters on standby right now in case that fire that damaged parts of Paris's Notre Dame starts again. Now, you're looking at both video of the fire from yesterday and also video of the internal damage sustained with the loss of the cathedral's roof. The structure is unstable. And Richard Engel reports there is a fear among French officials that there could be a partial collapse.
The Cathedral of Notre Dame still stands, but without her elegant spire, burned away by a devastating fire.
For me, Notre Dame is probably as many as for Americans, it's a mother. And suddenly you feel your mother has been hurt by the fire.
While an investigation is still ongoing, French officials are so far calling the blaze unintentional. They suspect it started around 6:30 Monday night among scaffolding at the base of the spire. But the flames spread quickly across the medieval roof. Made of so many timbers, it was nicknamed the Forest. The heat kept building and rising until...
Oh my God, the people just fell inside the church. Oh my God.
The spire came crashing down into the church's interior, fanning the flames even further. Around 400 firefighters finally contained the flames enough to go inside. Firefighters announced they'd managed to save the structure. Notre Dame would survive. And they said major works of art and relics, including the Holy Crown of Thorns, were saved. French President Emmanuel Macron told the nation the worst has been avoided. Notre Dame will be rebuilt, he said, because it is what the French people expect and what their history deserves. Around 100 firefighters are still on standby here in case the fire starts again. But the big concern right now, according to French officials, is that once pieces of this cathedral have been removed, especially the roof, that there could be a further shift and that it's not over yet. Richard Engel, NBC News, Paris.
So many people have memories of visiting the cathedral, and we want to see your photographs. Upload them on our news page of our website, clickondetroit.com. Survivors of sexual assault tell their stories without saying a word. A new exhibit at the Michigan State University's museum has opened today, and it is dedicated to survivors of sexual abuse. Finding Our Voice, Sister Survivors Speak, reflects on the sexual abuse that's centered at the university in recent years. It also focuses on survivors of the Larry Nassar abuse scandal. The exhibit will run until March of next year. Witnesses are testifying today in the Michigan Attorney General's felony case against former Michigan State University President Lou Anna Simon, who is accused of lying to police during its investigation into how MSU handled Larry Nassar. Nick Monticelli live with a look at what has happened in court today so far. Hey, Nick.
Karen, good afternoon. So what this case is really going to boil down to is a matter of who can remember what they said and when they said it. Right now, it's probably going to go to a jury, essentially determining who they believe said what when.
Good morning. Please rise. Court's in session.
If you've been paying any attention to the Lou Anna K. Simon hearing, you know there have been very few fireworks. The only substance so far.
Do you recognize that document?
Came last week. The witness on the stand is Paulette Granberry Russell. She worked in the Title IX office and was an advisor to Simon. The AG presented a folder with handwritten notes from a meeting between Paulette Granberry Russell and President Simon.
Says Sports Med, Dr. Nassar. I'm assuming it was there so that I would raise it in the conversation.
With who?
I'm assuming with Dr. Simon.
Simon is charged with lying to police about when she found out about the Nassar complaint. But she argues she knew about a complaint, but not that it was Nassar. So today, the defense is trying to poke holes in that note's evidence, arguing a handwritten note with the name Nassar doesn't mean they talked specifically about Nassar.
It is very possible, perhaps even likely, that during your discussion with President Simon on May 19th, you did not specifically discuss Nassar.
I don't have any independent recollection of talking specifically about Larry Nassar.
All right, so there was just another line of questioning in the courtroom. The defense saying, is it your testimony that you didn't talk about Nassar or just didn't remember? And she responded, she just can't remember, which could be key in the prosecution side of things. Karen, I think what this is really going to boil down to is the minutia. We've seen this all the time, those small little details of what the AG's office is able to prove. And like I said, don't be surprised if this goes to a jury trial.
What you knew and when, very important. All right, thank you, Nick. Closing arguments underway in the second murder trial of former Michigan State Police Trooper Mark Bessner. That's continuing today after the resolution of a legal issue. Bessner today told a judge he would not testify in his defense. He also did not testify at his first trial for second-degree murder in the death of 15-year-old Detroiter Damon Grimes, who died after Bessner tased him while he was riding his ATV. Now, that first trial last year ended in a hung jury. Local 4 will update that trial in newscasts later today, starting at first at 4. An emotional day in court as victims face the man responsible for hiding a camera inside the locker rooms of a Clinton Township CrossFit gym. Several victims spoke out against Matthew Krakowski. If you remember, it was earlier this year Krakowski pleaded no contest to hiding those cameras at his Switch CrossFit gym. Victims say they put their trust in him, and now they're fearful every time they use a restroom or locker room.
I trust very few people now except for those that are close to me. It's become difficult to trust strangers and not think that they have an ulterior motive. I can no longer walk into a mall and try and close in a fitting room because I'm afraid that someone's watching me.
A judge sentenced Krakowski to 11 months in the Macomb County Jail. He must also register as a sex offender. All right, let's talk about political headlines today and the redacted version of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report into Russian interference in the 2016 election is expected to drop Thursday morning. Last week, Attorney General William Barr said he'd release it within a week. Still, Democrats will likely go to court to demand the full report plus evidence. Still to come, at this noon, the man accused of pushing a boy off a third-story balcony is due in court. What he told police that prompted his actions. And the husband of a soldier killed in combat is back home after being deported. The mistake ICE agents made that led to his deportation.
Happening right now, a critical shortage of emergency workers of the canine variety. A 6,000 dog deficit that can't be filled without the help of the public. Today at 4 on First at 4, we're actually going to show you how you can help the people who are saving your life. I'll see you today at 4.